All right, thanks a lot, guys. And as they mentioned, it really does not get much better than this when it comes to a Division I game. You're talking about two nationally ranked teams, two teams that are the top two teams ranked in the state.
I wish we played 20-minute halves. I really do, because that's really what this game is about, is the fact that you get to this point, you've got the two best teams. They got through the stumble games, as I like to call them. They didn't falter, so now it's prime time. We play this one, and there's nothing in the way. You put it all out there, nothing left to do, but just give it your all, and try not to overplay in one respect. Relax. As we get to the keys of the game here, one of the things I'm going to tell you about is you got to do things. Like, for example, Princeton pressure. To me, they've got to take the ball away and create some turnovers, or they could be in trouble, because I just think that that's something that Princeton teams can do to you, is make you get out of your game. The next thing I talk about is, they've got a board. They didn't do that against Toledo St. John's. Out-rebounded in that game by 9, and they better change that, or else they're going to be in trouble, because this Northland team is too talented to do that. On the other side of it, you look at what Northland has to do. The defense gives you one. What I mean by that is they're going to give you one player on Princeton. They'll let them score, but they're going to have to shut down the other guys. That's really the way you want to do it. That's what they do to Desmar Jackson. They gave him 29 points, but let the rest of the Hardy team, they shut him down, did a good job. And finally, I think the other thing is Weatherspoon. You talked about it just moments ago. J.D. Weatherspoon hit 11 of 12 floor shots, 25 points. He really creates prowess, because then if you worry about him, here comes Sullinger, you're in big trouble.
That guy is impressive. I had a chance to check him out last night in the semifinal game, and I can tell you he is very active. He's very good. I know Jared Sullinger gets a lot of the talk, but he was very good. Coach, I'm curious, what will you be looking for? Some of the same things
we mentioned rebounding. I think team rebounding on both ends of the floor. Both teams are extremely talented, so it needs to be a team effort on the boards. I'm also looking for offensive execution, and I'm looking for defensive stops. And then the last thing, which both teams are playing for their first state title, should be an interesting battle.
Well, we'll definitely be checking in with both of you at halftime. But now it is ready to get ready for the Division I state championship game between Princeton and Northland from Value City Arena, just moments away. The excitement is building at Value City Arena, where the fans are getting ready for this Division I matchup between Cincinnati Princeton and Columbus Northland, two of the best teams in the state, the top-ranked teams in Division I. Now they're going to duke it out and battle for the title to be named the best team in Division I, fighting for that crown. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Sue Ann Roback, along with Dave Wojciechowski and Jim Isabella. We're glad to have you here, and guys, doesn't get much better than this.
I would be nervous right now, and Coach, I know that you've been through this before, you've watched it. So what do you tell the guys? You tell jokes, you get them focused, what do you do?
Do a combination of everything. I think you tell some jokes, you get them focused. But I think at this point of the day, they've gone over the scouting reports. They've had their walkthrough throughout the course of the day. These teams are extremely talented. They know what's at stake. They know what they have to do. It's time to throw it up and get playing.
We've already seen some great games when it's come to today. I mean, we've had coverage on since 10:30 this morning to have you covered, starting with that Division IV game, and we saw a dandy between Oak Hill and Kalida. That was really a close game.
I think the thing about that game was so memorable was that you had so much on the line. Coach Dick Kortokrax, perhaps coaching his last game after 34 years there for Kalida, and his team gave it a great shot. But what it really came down to was young man Ryan Borden hitting 2 3-pointers, one to send it into overtime, the second one to send it into double overtime. And I'll never forget those 2 shots, because that second 3 was one of the greatest shots I've ever seen in my life. And you look back at that, Coach, and that was just survivor. There was nothing else to say fancy about. It was good basketball, but it was survival basketball.
Big shot towards the end of the ball game there, and I really think down the stretch, execution. We've shown the back door cut a couple different times, but they ran their stuff, Oak Hill, towards the end of that game almost to perfection. It was a clinic. and they were able to get the job done in that way due to offensive execution down the stretch.
Yeah, well, Division III also saw a pretty good game, a very good game actually, between Cleveland Central Catholic and Tenora.
Well, the name in that game that we'll all talk about was not Anton Grady, which everybody thought. Great sophomore, showed his potential with a bunch of block shots, but Charles Montgomery. He was the guy who was the rescue guy, because really Central had an 11-0 first quarter lead. In the modern era, we talked about this earlier, we've never seen that happen before, a team gets shot. But then a 13-1 run, and all of a sudden Tenora's back in this thing. It went back and forth, and really, Coach, until Charles Montgomery came in third and the fourth quarter and opened the gates with a couple of baskets. Just a little bit opened the gates. It wasn't the floodgates. I'll tell you what, that was the turning point. He was truly the game changer of that game.
Well, know all well about Charles Montgomery as a first team North Coast League Player of the Year. Tremendous player. Guy is capable of stepping out and taking a jump shot and making the jump shot for them. And he did that today. He loosened up the interior. Central Catholic got their game going, which is up-tempo, get after them defensively, and get to the basket, and they did that.
And the game we saw most recently was in the Division II matchup, where Akron St. Vincent St. Mary won its 5th state championship in boys basketball.
Free throws, make your free throws. Thurgood Marshall missed 4 out of 6 down the stretch, while Mr. Harrison, and there you see him quietly with 21 points, but he knocked down the last 4 free throws of the game. And if you look at the score, you win by 6, last 4. Yeah, I guess that's what won him the ball game down the stretch. Great ball game, though. 2 first-class teams. We had 2 runs in that game that combined 19-1. 9-0 for St. V at the start of third quarter. 10-1 in the last minute 43. 10-1, Coach, down in the last minute 43. Could you believe they pulled that game out down by 3 at one point?
Well, I can. That's what good teams do down the stretch. They find a way to grind it out and get the job done. I think today all 3 games to this point have been games of runs and spurts at different levels and different situations throughout each game. There has been a spurt, 6-0, 7-1, 9-2. That really separated and gave the teams, the schools, the respective teams that won, that little breathing room to get the job done.
I know you've mentioned a few times now at the start of every game, that's where you're kind of focusing on, because you think that can make a big difference in the outcome.
I really like to see how the teams get out right away. When the ball's thrown up and you're actually, you get the teams out there and they have to recognize the defense, they have to recognize the offense. They want to see how they're going. I would like to see how they're going to play Sullinger tonight. Are we going to get doubles in the post? How are they going to react to different situations? And once again, we still have to realize these are all young men out there, kids 18 years old and younger. And in a great opportunity, great game for them, a big-time spot. How do they react to it? That's what I like to see.
Yeah, and that's really tough, Suan, because, you know, we could have had a blowout. I thought the Central Catholic game, 11-0 start, blowout. Tap City, game over. Instead, they come back. So far, that's been the enduring thing about these championship games, is neither team would give in. One team had to win, but neither team choked down the stretch. They had, yeah, there was some free throws, but I mean, taking bad shots. Both teams just fought like the devil till somebody just survived and won.
Quickly now, I want to get your final thoughts just in terms of what you anticipate seeing in terms of the outcome. Are you willing to put a winner out there? Because, Jim, when you were talking, it sounded like you thought that Princeton was definitely the underdog in this matchup.
I think they're the underdog. The problem for me predicting either team, to be honest, Cincinnati teams are tough. I would never undersell them. So, dead even game for my money.
It's going to be a grind-out game, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing this talent live for the first time. I think there's a lot of coaches out there that are really going to be there, tuned into their future players tonight.
A lot of talent on the floor, no doubt about it, when it comes to this Division I matchup between Cincinnati, Princeton, and Columbus, Northland. Tip-off just minutes away. You're going to want to keep it tuned right here to Sports Time Ohio. We're going to have the lineups and tip-off next.
Three games, 3 titles. Now we find out who'll be crowned the kings of the big schools. Cincinnati Princeton has 3 Division I college prospects, including junior Jordan Seibert, who's heading to Ohio State. They'll take on the high-flying #1 ranked D1 team of the state, Columbus Northland. They're big and strong, led by Mr. Ohio basketball himself, Jared Sullinger. This is what we waited for all day long, and it's time to light up the shot. The Division I title game starts right now in high definition on STO. Value City Arena brimming with anticipation for this big school state championship between the top 2 ranked teams in the state, as Cincinnati Princeton gets set to do battle with Columbus Northland. And it's safe to say the Vikings will come out on top in this one tonight. The OHSAA Basketball Championships are brought to you by Farmers Insurance. Farmers, get you back where you belong. And by Time Warner Cable. Welcome in, everybody. Mike Cairns, Brad Sellers, and Andre Knott bringing you all the action in our final game here on Championship Saturday. And I know my partner, he's been dancing around all day long, waiting to get it on. They had to hide jerseys from him, not that they could find one big enough for him to wear, but nonetheless, you're ready for this one tonight, partner.
No question about it, Mike. We're looking for the D1 matchup, which is typically the best matchup of all divisions in the state of Ohio, because you've just got bigger schools with bigger and better talent. Today, we've been blessed that each team has quality talent on the floor and quality coaches on the sideline. Looks for a good matchup tonight.
Well, we've talked about their national rankings. Ironically, the #1 ranked team in the state, the Vikings of Columbus Northland, they're ranked 16th in the country. The #2 team in the state, the Vikings of Cincinnati Princeton, are the 15th ranked team in the country. Now understand, these two teams actually scrimmaged one another in the preseason. There's no video of that, there's no tape of that, depending on who you talk to. Somebody got the better of the other, but we'll find out for real tonight. That's where you really have to brag, the winner of this one.
No question about it. One of the young statisticians that gives us stats during the game, she told me that it was played in the preview of the beginning of the season. I said, hey, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Talk to me in February. Well, now we don't have to talk in February. We can do our talking in March. And today, there's going to be a decision made who is actually the #1 team in the state of Ohio.
Somebody certainly will be leaving the floor with the ultimate hardware tonight, as our 4th champion will be crowned in a matter of about 2 hours here from Value City Arena. And what a day it's been, partner, from the overtime game to get us started all the way up to where we are right now.
A great day of basketball. If you're a fan of this game of basketball, no better venue than to be in the Schottenstein Center today. We've seen quality games at all levels today, and we expect this to be the actual topper of the evening.
There's the fast break backs for Cincinnati Princeton, led by their head coach, Josh Andrews, in just his 2nd year out of the Greater Miami Conference, where they're the first team in nearly 20 years to go unbeaten in that conference at 14-0, 67 points of offense, and they give up 50 points on defense. And there's a look at the Vikes of Columbus Northland, led by Zach Sullinger out of the Columbus City Conference. Also about 69 points a game, giving up 48 on defense. Both of these teams very, very stingy on defense tonight. Take a look at the state maps. Of course, Princeton coming out of Hamilton County, that Greater Miami Conference. William Sprankles, the principal, Scott Hoffman, the athletic director. And for the Vikes of Columbus Northland, coming out of Franklin County, Dr. Gene Harris, the superintendent, Dwayne Bland, and Romani Hunter, the athletic director. So how'd they get here? Here's the tournament trail for the Vikes, and it all culminated with the state semifinal win over Toledo St. John's Jesuits here at Value City Arena. And there's a look at the tournament trail for the Vikes. They beat Warren Harding here last night, 73-59, as we get set to check in for tonight's starting lineups here at Value City.
Northland, a 5'11" sophomore, number 10, Trey Burke. For the Princeton Vikings, a 6'6" senior, number 5, Stephon Johnson. For the Northland Vikings, a 6'6" junior, number 24, J.D. Weatherspoon. For Princeton, a 6'7" senior, number 10, Marquise Horn. For Northland, a 6'4" senior, number 30, Damond Hale. For the Princeton Vikings, a 6'2" junior, number 15, Marcus Davis. For the Northland Vikings, a 6'9" junior, number 34, Jared Sullinger. For Cincinnati Princeton, a 6'4" junior, number 33, Jordan Seibert. And for Columbus Northland, a 6'5" senior, number 50, Javon Cornley.
There's our starting lineup for tonight's game. Let's check in and see how my partner Sellers sees this monster matchup.
Well, this magnificent matchup tonight is going to come down to how Princeton and Northland play. Obviously for Princeton, their big men must meet the challenge of beating Witherspoon and Sullinger down on the block. For Northland, Jared Sullinger and J.D. Witherspoon got to have a dream of having a state title. They've got to play big. And to be the Division I dream matchup is right here, right now. No better time than to go get it than at this moment.
The lights are back up, and we're getting close to tip-off here at Value City Arena. Nice crowd on hand. Been good crowds throughout the tournament, through the semifinals, right up to the state championship. As you take a look at the Vikes from Cincinnati, Princeton. And every one of the Vikes on their starting five have something shaved in their head. You can see the Viking wings there on Stefan Johnson on the side of his head. Orlando Williams has the full-scale Vikings, as everybody taking pride in their school as they get set for this matchup tonight. And of course, tonight's broadcast coming to you in HD from Sure Shot Transmissions. On the move, Sure Shot. Opening tap, and it goes to Northland, and they'll get it started. Trey Burke will run the show for Coach Sullinger.
You got Princeton coming out, man-to-man, trying to meet him up, head up. We'll see what happens.
Witherspoon, and he travels with his first touch of the basketball tonight, and our first turnover.
Didn't get to see much of Witherspoon on the perimeter yesterday. More of his work was done down low. Let's see if we'll get back to that today.
Pushing it across the timeline, that's Marcus Davis getting it into the hands of Stefan Johnson. Free ball from the right side. That one's nothing but air, but underneath the rebound, Orlando Williams is fouled as he gets the feed from Stefan Johnson.
Orlando Williams able to sneak underneath and get that errant shot. Get back up there and try to put it up against the glass. It was foul going up, though.
The partners, the reason why they call it big schools, you look at the starting lineups as J.D. Witherspoon collects his first foul, first team. You look at the lineups on both sides, and they're just filled with 6'6", 6'5", 6'7", 6'8 players. These are big starting lineups.
No question about it. When you have a large school population, you got more selection of young men that can actually come out and play. In this game here, we've just been fortunate to have just so much size on the floor at one time.
And the 68% free throw shooter splits a pair. Princeton on the board first to this one tonight. Pressure in the backcourt.
Princeton coming out with a 1-2-2 trap, trying to slow down Northland a little bit.
Sullinger to Burke. Burke thought about it, but then shut down by the defense of Cincinnati Princeton. Burke going to reset the offense. Very patient. Columbus Northland getting started here. Inside, Sullinger turns and rolls it in.
Very soft shot. Dad says he has soft hands. Saw a nice easy catch by the big man and turn around by Jared. Put it in softly to take the lead 2-1.
Johnson, checked by Javon Cornley. And gets inside. Marquise Horn for the basket.
Marquise Horn able to punch in right there. Get good position on Sullinger to take it up. Marquise showing a soft touch himself.
see in the game of Jared Sullinger, big guy who can really handle the basketball. You could put him and run the break if you had to. He's that good.
Yeah, he has many talents to his game. Just not limited to being down as a post player. Got a bright future ahead of him.
His dad kind of talked a little bit about where he thinks Thad Mata might use him when he gets down here, because he can shoot from the outside as well.
Well, when you got a talent like that, I believe Coach Mata will use him the best place possible in order to help his team out.
Good work to get inside on that second effort. That was J.D. Witherspoon who draws the foul.
And that's what J.D. was working at strong at yesterday in the semi. Had he gotten fouled on his way up, you'd have saw a two-hand punch right there.
Marquise Horn picks up the personal. First team foul, so both teams with a foul each. Short on the first effort for the 6'6" junior forward on his way to Xavier. 15 points, 7 rebounds, couple of blocks a game. And very impressive in the semifinal win with an array of just showtime dunks. Missed the second one, loose ball. Actually went off the head of Marquise Horn. And then nearly stolen by Orlando Williams.
Great hustle by both teams. I always talk about it like being a prize fight. Both teams filling each other out right now.
3 too early in this Division I Boys State Championship game for Value City Arena. Mike Aaron's, Brad Sellers, Andre Knott. Miss, Sullinger underneath, and he's strong with the stick.
Too strong under there. Jared Sullinger cleaning up. Aaron shot. Have a stick back on the glass.
Orlando Williams calling out the offense. Baseline, no good. Williams comes in for the rebound and draws the foul. And if that's on Witherspoon, that'll be his second. J.D. Witherspoon picks up his second and the team's second.
They're going to replace J.D. Witherspoon with 5'10" Jordan Potts.
He missed the first one. Potts, freshman guard.
Number 23.
But that Sullinger just loves number 23. Smallest guy out on the court, but you'll watch him direct the older kids around the court, and you realize what kind of a handle this freshman has with their offense.
If you look at him, he looks like he's 8 or 10. He came in and played well yesterday.
He really did.
As a matter of fact, you talk about the backcourt. Trey Burke, number 10, is a sophomore. So you've got a freshman and a sophomore leading you in tonight's game.
Sullinger goes up strong. Second effort is good.
You will not be able to play behind Jared Sullinger all night long. If he catches it that low in the post, trouble for somebody.
Three-pointer. Marquise Horn misses the mark. Loose ball, last touch by Northland, so it'll be Princeton basketball.
Right now, Princeton's got to settle down a little bit, try to get something possibly going to the basket. And you hear Jared Sullinger punching in underneath. Anytime you've got a player of that size and ability, you play behind him, it's not a good look for any defensive player.
He's got all 6 of Northland's points. Potts run into by Marquise Horn, and it's a foul.
I know he was tempted to get that. Northland lobbing the ball from side to side. It looks like it can be an easy steal. Marquise just was not able to get there in time to make it happen.
So a starter on each side collecting 2 fouls. Marquise Horn collects his second. Darian Wilkins will check in for him, number 3. Whistle away from the basketball. Pushing and shoving going on underneath and a holding call.
A little difficult now, Mike, because Stefan, who was not checking Jared Sullinger, now is in the position of bodying up on Jared Sullinger down on that post. Let's see if they go back to Jared.
Northland going right back to work. Sullinger double teamed. Swing it to Potts. Potts fires the 3. He banks it in.
Oh, yeah. I was just about to say off. Jordan stepped up and sent it off glass.
Just like I planned it, Coach. Knocks down the 3. 9-3 lead for Northland. 7-0 run for Northland in the last 3 minutes and counting. Free ball from the right side is good. Jordan Seibert gets it going.
And Seibert steps up big, sends one in from downtown.
Inside to Sullinger, and that's been a matchup that he's taken advantage of here in the first quarter. That one in and out. Back the other way comes Princeton. Orlando Williams for three. Trey Burke's underneath. He gets the rebound. He's pushing it back the other way. Here comes Northland. Sullinger from 15. That's short. Good rebound underneath by Wilkins.
Great ball movement by Northland on that transition though.
Johnson, 16-footer's good.
Johnson.
Great matchup we're having right now, Mike. They're trading baskets, basket for basket. Good look. Everybody's got a good feel of one another right now.
Very good up-tempo feel at the start of this one. Northland up one early. First quarter coming up on 2 minutes left. We haven't seen a lot of those here in the first quarters. It's been a very high-tempo, fast-paced first quarter. Jordan Potts knocking down the three. And the answer at the other end from Jordan Seibert. It's a one-point basketball game here in the first. Welcome back, Value City. Northland up by one. Well, the Indians return STO next week as spring training continues in Arizona. Monday night at 7, the Indians host the Pods. Then on Tuesday, the Mariners come to Goodyear at 4 o'clock with the replay at 9. For a complete listing of all the Indians games, visit STOHD.com. We've already seen some early foul trouble on both sides, and that really could impact some coaching decisions. And with that, go over to Andre now with a Farmers Insurance sideline report.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Mike. The foul trouble will change how this game is played. And I think Brad can talk to this. The emotion that you have in this building, especially with these big guys, they cannot allow their emotions to play in this game. They have to play the way they've been taught. You've seen it earlier where a couple guys have foul trouble. The one thing Northland has is they have Sullinger to feed off of. The question is, can Princeton do the same with one of their big guys out?
Right now, Andre, what you have is you've got like a major college matchup. There's no tactical advantage for each team. They've got good matchup, man on man. That's why you've seen everybody being very deliberate in how they're playing. They're trying to go into their strengths. Seibert on one side, Sullinger on the other. Especially being a man down now makes it that much more difficult.
And that's what it is. I mean, really, Brad, you look at as Sullinger turns and misfires, you look at how the game is slowed down, but every matchup's a good mismatch, or a good matchup. You can't find a mismatch.
No, it's not like other games that we've seen. You've got people playing man-to-man, and then they're able to check one another, which makes it that much more difficult. You also have to factor in the fact that you've got two guys out here, both going to Ohio State University, coming here and playing at the Schottenstein Center. Could be a little bit more energy, a little bit more emotion. They've got to learn to settle down and find out how they're going to work their hands in order for the team to be successful this evening.
Now, in your opinion, do you think the better basketball teams on the high school level play man defense?
I think that the better basketball team definitely play man-to-man defense because that's how you win and you stop folks. And otherwise, what you'll do is you'll see them go to zone defenses from time to time to give people rest, to protect foul trouble from players getting in. And the other thing you get is a change of looks defensively. Another change of
Stephon Johnson picks up his second, so that's the third player, and the second one on Princeton with 2 fouls. And a lot of those fouls are coming down in the paint. They're having problems with the bigs.
Well, when you got big bodies down there and you play behind them in the post, typically you're going to get fouled, and typically it's going to go into the defender. So either team is going to have to start fronting down low if you don't want to put a person in foul trouble.
Coming up on the final 25 seconds here of this very tight first quarter. Northland on top by 1 with the basketball. They're in the white and the green. Princeton in the red. Potts trying to work his way through, and Steve Martin reached in as he found a hole.
The other thing you'll see, Mike, pay attention to Jared Sullinger. They now have Darian Wilkins on Sullinger, and he's fronting down in the post, not willing to let Sullinger catch that ball easily, so easily down in the post.
That's the 5th team foul on Princeton. Steve Martin's first. They get it in. Ricky Bennett skies to get that entry pass in. 5 seconds on the clock. Burke looking for room. Burke spins, kicks it out to Potts, who fires from 3 and had it go in and out. And that's the way the first quarter comes to an end as Northland goes scoreless over the final 3:44 of this first quarter. And it has been a tight one. The Vikings of Northland on top of the Vikings of Princeton here in this boys Division I state championship matchup here on Sports Time Ohio. This second quarter, let's send it over to Andre now for another Farmers Insurance sideline report, standing by with Steve Neal, the OSHAA.
Well, this is the second year that the OHSAA has kind of helped out and enhanced this weekend of basketball with Hoop Fest. Steve, tell a little bit about what you guys have done.
Well, actually, year 2, we've really been planning on this for about 4 years, and each year we're just trying to enhance our Hoop Fan Fest and our championship zone. Just another opportunity for kids to come out and be a part of the entire weekend. And for us, I mean, it's all about the experience of the student. It's not just about the games, but the experience. We have clinics, we have 3-point shootout, and next year we're trying to do a little bit more as well. So as long as we can have kids involved, it's a good thing for us.
Nice. Now, 2 weeks ago, you had the ice hockey state championship. We saw it here on STO. Tell us how that tournament goes and how the fans get into that.
Well, actually, we have the Final Four. They call it the Frozen Four at times down at Nationwide Arena. The Blue Jackets staff is absolutely amazing and really helping us to provide a great experience for the students as well. And they do a lot preparing, and they're very active with us throughout the calendar year and really helping us with some special things for the sport of ice hockey.
Steve, we appreciate you having us down here. You guys do a wonderful job and keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thanks to STO as well.
Thanks, Andre. Steve Neal, the OHSAA. Trey Burke called for the foul. Orlando Williams back to the free throw line, shooting 2. Knocks it down. Williams was 1 of 4 for that shot right there. Damon Hale checks in for Northland. Williams with another one coming. Bends and fires the 68% free throw tosser, knocks them both down. And Princeton up by 1 as Deshaun Lewis checks in for Northland. 7-0 run by Princeton has them up by 1. It's been back and forth early.
Yeah, trade punches. Last few times down in the first quarter, Sullinger had 12 touches. On those 12 touches, he received 4 double teams, 3 for 7 from the field, and matter of fact, 1 for 5 of his last attempts.
Orlando Williams back the other way, 2 on 3. Williams goes to the hole. Rebound, Jared Sullinger. Potts quickly back into the offensive zone. Hit from there earlier, fires away and drops another one. So the young freshman, 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. Pumps some life in the Northland Vikings. They're up 2.
Freshman steps up big time. Young Jordan Potts.
Williams spun and was fouled by Jared Sullinger. Sullinger thought he got a lot of basketball. Nonetheless, Williams, who has been very active tonight, will go back to the free throw line.
Well, he has to be. 18 points a game. The team is going to count on him for those points. You're going to need him to kind of neutralize the points that Sullinger is going to do tonight.
It's 3 for 6 from the charity stripe. As all 4 of Northland's team fouls are because of Orlando Williams.
Well, his game is aggressive. It's going to the basket, looking for opportunities. He just hasn't had a chance to convert these last few free throws. 3 of 7. Ends and fires, so 50% from the charity stripe from Orlando Williams. And Northland up by 1. Full court pressure now from Princeton. Lewis into the offensive zone. Marcus Davis with the rip. Last touch by Princeton. Be Northland's basketball. Good defense by Marcus Davis right there to cut the baseline off and then get a strip on that ball to knock it out of bounds. Here comes the post up. They can get it. Looking for the open man. Lewis for 3. And that rattles him and out. Here comes Orlando Williams as he pushes it for Princeton. Williams.
Wilkins, double team, looking for room. And not a lot of room in either of these defenses tonight.
No, it's hard man-to-man. You got big bodies inside. Not a lot of interior space to work within. Got to be smart. Here's the Ohio State matchup on the side. Sullinger versus Siebert.
He's been very quiet tonight. 17-footer hoisted up hard off the back iron. Potts comes away with it. Little head fake. Potts bullet pass into Sullinger, who was trailing. Sullinger rejected by Wilkins. And here comes Princeton. Williams steps inside, knocks down the 17-footer.
And Williams caught that in flow, right in stride. No hesitation, just a release.
Princeton up 13-12. And we'll send it back over to Andre Nutt.
And guys, as we watched Jordan Potts, something came across to me. About 10 years ago, I think we all were down here watching St. Vincent St. Mary. We were talking about all the stars that they had, and there was a little freshman named Drew Joyce with three-pointers to win that game for St. Vincent St. Mary. You look at Jordan Potts, he doesn't look like he belongs, but usually in a game like this with all the stars, it's one of the guys that you don't think about that makes the difference.
That's a great point, Andre. Jordan Potts certainly has the basketball IQ. He's a freshman, but he doesn't look like a freshman when he's in there because of the way he runs the offense, directs the older kids around, and you'll see him yell at some of those guys, Sullinger and Weatherspoon in particular.
Very solid basketball play. Comes in, not a liability as a freshman. Comes in, definitely an asset to this team, bringing something to the table to try to advance their cause.
Trey Burke, the sophomore, knocks down the three. The answer on the other end is short. And Jordan Potts sends it ahead to Burke. Burke has to save it. And he called timeout. Nice job by the sophomore with a veteran move right there as he went out of bounds to get the basketball. Called timeout in the air.
Great call by Trey Burke. Looked like it was going to be a turnover. Was very hesitant about grabbing it, running out of bounds with it, called the timeout. Saved the possession for that team.
In reading Sullinger's lips, he looked at Jordan Potts and he said, slow down. Slow down.
The one thing that you'll see on this push out right here, Trey's able to jump over the air, call the timeout. Great by our camera crew right here catching that. Saved the possession. But Mike, you talk about it. One thing you'll find out with young ball players, they'll find themselves always in a hurry. In this case, in this type of game, you want to be deliberate, more patient. Give yourself ability to come into the ball game and get a feel for the ball game. Don't let the momentum push you into a level of play that you don't want to be at.
We have had 8 lead changes already in this one. Seibert checks Trey Burke. So Burke and Potts, the freshman and the sophomore, running the show in the backcourt for the #1 team in the state. Sullinger comes all the way out to get the handoff from Devon Hale. Potts, Burke fires for 3. Short, Williams goes out, gets the rebound. Princeton wants to push it.
On the defensive possession there, you saw Princeton doubling down every chance they can get. Running, trapping, not willing to give up easy shots.
Baker off the side iron, and Williams travels with the basketball. Second turnover for Princeton. And we've seen substitutions early on both sides, particularly more from Princeton's side of the basketball because they're very up-tempo. They're pushing the tempo and the pace early.
Well, the thing about that is also that they've got to play quick. They know they have got a great size advantage defensively inside. So what happens is their bodies are typically getting worn out playing against those bigger, stronger players down low. You have to bring in fresh bodies to keep everybody fresh.
Javon Cornley with the stick back of the Jared Sullinger miss, and Sullinger just kind of powered his way down the baseline to get that shot up. 17-13 Northland.
Northland being very deliberate, looking to try to get it in Sullinger if they can. In that case there, his errant shot was cleaned up by Cornley.
Williams goes in the basket and the foul, and they're going to call a charge. Williams got in the paint, but this time the foul's on #1. 3:36 left to go. Official timeout on the floor. Jordan Potts and the Northland Vikings trading shots with Princeton, and they're up 4. Oh, you want to watch this game again? Look for this game and other high school state championship games only on Time Warner Cable Local On Demand. You can pause, fast forward, rewind, and even do instant replays. Local On Demand is free with Time Warner Digital Cable. Northland up by 4. Let's send it over to Andre Knott with another Farmers Insurance sideline report.
When you look at the Princeton uniforms, you can look right over their chests, and they have a nice little a patch over their jerseys, and it has 2 B's in it. The reason they have that is for their former coach, Bill Brewer, who passed away suddenly 2 years ago. That's when Josh Andrews took over the team. Many people will remember Bill Brewer as the coach that was at Roger Bacon that actually defeated St. Vincent St. Mary back in 2001-2002 when they played LeBron James and St. Vincent St. Mary.
Thank you, Andre. Josh Andrews did a heck of a job. First team in 26 years to go unbeaten in that Greater Miami Conference. That'll give you an idea just how tough that conference is.
Very tough conference, and it has been for years. For Princeton to break out of there is quite an accomplishment.
This is their first state appearance since 1972. Burke now looking for some room. Princeton not offering up a lot of spots. Lob inside to Sullinger, but it tipped away by Darian Wilkins. Wilkins has done a nice job off the bench for Princeton.
The other thing that's helping Darian Wilkins, they're doubling down on everything. So what appears to be open really is not open. You're not going to really be able to enter the ball from the top of the key to any post players from Northland.
Bench coming in huge right now for Princeton with Wilkins, Martin, Baker all in the basketball game right now. That's Marcus Davis pulling up. Left-handed shot a little bit short. Ripped down by Jared Sullinger, his 5th. Into the hands of Jordan Potts. Potts, the freshman, has knocked down a couple of 3-pointers here in the first half.
Princeton came out of the game 3 for 7 from the field. And since then, they've been gone 1 for 6. Northland, on the other hand, has been 4 for 7 at the start of the game, and since then 3 for 11. Sullinger is only 1 for 7 in his last 8 attempts.
Don't forget Farmers Insurance halftime report coming your way. 2 minutes left here in the first half. Lob inside to Sullinger. And this time, Sullinger draws the foul.
Correct call right there. Anytime you get a lob pass like that and a player goes up to grab the ball, you got to give him room to come down. And what you had, it was a body right there. You see Sullinger off of the ball. He's getting an undercut right there before he even grabs it.
Steve Martin comes up with his 2nd personal. And 8 fouls already for Princeton. They had 5 at the end of the first quarter.
You see what a luxury it is to have a post player that can be offensive-minded down on the block. It can cause a tremendous amount of trouble for any team that's undersized on a matchup.
For Princeton, number 1.
They'll bring Orlando Williams back in for Steve Martin with 1:57 left to go.
Got to be happy with Princeton. You're down and you've got your bigs in foul trouble, but you're only 6 down. 7 down. 6 down.
Sullinger rattles it in, 18-14 Northland. Under 2 minutes to play. 7-0 run. It's a 6-point lead. Breakout coming the other way. Damon Hale picked up by Burke, and Burke has it blocked by Orlando Williams.
Great hustle by the Vikings of Princeton to get back what looked like to be an easy layup. Even Trey Burke was able to track down one. He thought he had an easy one. Orlando Williams comes in and punches it off the glass.
2nd block for Williams. What looked like a breakaway became a big block for the 6'5" senior. Very deliberate on offense. Williams lost the handle of the basketball. Gathered it back in with 1:15 left to go here in the second quarter. Williams working on Hale. Drops it off to Seibert. Seibert, the floater. A very quiet first half, the Ohio State recruit.
Very steady, though. 15 a game. Got to look to be a little bit more offensive-minded. Great drop off by Trey Burke.
Javon Cornley inside. His brother, a great basketball player at Columbus Brookhaven, and then went on to star at Penn State. Cornley going to play football for Indiana next season. Turnover. Fifth turnover for Princeton. And a 6-point lead for Northland with the basketball. 43.5 seconds left to go. Sad Sullinger says play on. As Trey Burke looked over hoping he'd say what? Hold it for 1. He said no, play on.
You got to be impressed, though. You got a backcourt of a freshman and a sophomore, and they're not giving an inch.
court pass, Damon Hale. Hale trying to work it inside. Sullinger calling for it. And that is one of the few mismatches we have. Darian Wilkins, there's no way he is going to hold down Jared Sullinger.
No, in this case, it's best for Darian's trying to front and give as much pressure as possible. Concede the catch and hope that he's going to get a double on dribble or on catch from one of his teammates and try to get the ball out of Sullinger's hand into someone else's hands.
Now, Northland has certainly slowed the basketball game down, as Steve Martin will check back in for Andrew Baker. And one of the things they've been able to do is take advantage of their size down on the blocks.
Well, you saw last night, Northland didn't go home after they stayed here and watched Princeton play, and they saw Princeton play an up-tempo game last night. That's not to the strength of Northland today. They've got to play a setup game and play to their strength, which are their interior players, Sullinger and J.D. Weatherspoon when he's on the floor.
Seibert's got the basketball as they work for the final shot, down by 6. Seibert trying to work his way around Hale, and he's fouled. Damon Hale will get called for the personal.
Good foul, not in the penalty. He's side out.
Another foul to give still for Northland, just a 5th team foul. 1.8 seconds left to go. Trying to get Seibert open for a final shot. Instead, it would be Wilkins. Wilkins will step inside and fire, and that one was short. Would have counted if it went down. 1/2 in the books here. Number 1 versus number 2. And Northland is on top, 21-15. Send it over to Andre Knott, standing by with Coach.
Coach, how impressed were you with your defense, especially with Witherspoon getting in foul trouble early?
Oh, really impressed. I mean, I got a freshman and a sophomore in the backcourt, and at one point I had 2 freshmen and sophomore out there. All we got to work on now is our execution on offense, and we got J.D. back, which is going to give us a big boost. They can double team Jared now, and J.D. will go to work.
How did you feel like you guys controlled the tempo? Because last night we watched Princeton go up and down the court, and they weren't able to do it.
Earlier when we talked, I said in order to control tempo, you got to control the boards. Right now we're doing well rebounding.
Coach, we appreciate the time.
Thank you very much.
All right, back.
Thanks, Andre. It's close in the rebounding edge. Princeton, it's a +2 for Northland, so Coach certainly was right, but the big key was J.D. Weatherspoon. Weatherspoon has just 3 minutes that he's played in this basketball game. You're going to need a lot more from that if you're going to win a state championship.
Not quite the start you want to do if you're the Northland team, but they weathered the storm. They're going to walk out at halftime up 6. One person of their 1-2 punch is not on the floor, but when you come out in the 3rd quarter, you'll have your full complement of players. Should be able to get back to your original game plan.
A lot of credit that he gave to both of his freshmen, Jordan Potts and Gashawn Lewis. Valuable minutes in the first half. And Northland, the number 1 team in the state, leading number 2 Princeton 21-15 at the half. Farmers Insurance halftime shows. We send it to the studio back in Cleveland with Sue Ann Roback.
You have been watching the Division I state championship game between Columbus Northland and Cincinnati Princeton, a 21-15 game here at the half. Thanks for tuning in to our Farmers Insurance halftime report, guys. It's been kind of a back and forth game in the first half. Somewhat surprised to see that, or not really?
Low scoring, much more low scoring than I would have thought. And you know, Coach, I think part of that reason is the big bodies out there. Both teams are seemingly having a little trouble spacing where they want to be, but you said they're going to have to do some different things to change that spacing.
I think we talked execution early on. I'm not sure if both squads are doing a great job in the half court executing offensively. I think the other thing is we talked early in the preseason about the grinded out style that they play down south. I think that's pretty evident this half. It is a half court possession ball game, hence the score being what it is right now.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. And you knew there was a lot of talent in this game, and both sides have been showing it, starting with Northland's Jared Sullinger. He's Mr. Basketball for a reason. Gets a nice friendly rim there, gets it to rattle down. But coming up with the big board here and the putback for Jared Sullinger. But Princeton has some weapons of their own. Jordan Seibert, check out his three-point shot, nothing but net. Boy, that was a pretty one. And Princeton also has Orlando Williams. He can knock it down from the outside as well. But Northland seems to have a lot of different weapons. They can turn to a lot of different guys on that team. That was Trey Burke with a three-pointer. And then you have the nice drive here. Ooh, boy, Northland, 21-15. at the half. And what's always interesting, guys, is at halftime, you know the coaches go in there. Coach, you've been a part of it. You look at what adjustments need to be made in the second half, and I'm just curious to get your thoughts, what you think needs to be done differently here in the second half for both of these teams.
Well, I think Northland, first of all, is going to get Witherspoon back. He was out with the foul trouble early on there and sat a ton that first half.
Yeah.
I think to their credit, though, Coach even said they weathered that storm. So it's a good sign that you can have depth and talent all at one time.
Yeah, and I think if it's me, I'm going to run some screens. You were talking about screens. I think you got to run some more screens. And Jordan Seibert's got to come of age. He had a big game the other night with 15 points. Horn has to come in, Williams. They've got to get that trio going. They can't live with just one guy or two guys. In a game like this, you got to get a come-from-behind effort. Remember, they scored 21 points in the semifinal to pull that game out of the fire. So now they're going to have to do it again because right now they just look very uncertain offensively, Sue-Ann, what they really want to do.
Well, one thing that we've noticed just by watching this game is there are a lot of big guys on the floor for both sides of this. Do you think that we'll see a lot more action pounding it inside to get some inside scoring?
I think you have to, but let's go back to a year ago when Anthony Hitchens was the guy who's now at the University of Akron. Dribble penetration, we're not seeing a lot of that. I think right now, if they're going to play man coach, I'm going to look at my guard and say, you need to get inside. You need to kick it out or take it to the hole.
Well, I think we've talked about that. That's been the refrain of the day. Inside out. Inside is not only putting the ball in the post with post touches, but it's also having your guards get in the paint, break the defense down, and that's going to open some things up. So dribble penetration is going to be a key to getting inside in the second half here.
There have been several things that we thought we would see in the first half. One thing that we did not think was such a low-scoring ball game. Do you think that'll change in the second half? Do you think we'll see more running and gunning and that type of thing where it gets to be a higher-scoring game by the time this thing is all said and done?
I think, Coach, it depends on Princeton because Princeton is pretty good at dictating tempo, but if they're down, they're suddenly going to have to pick up the tempo. They cannot, they're a grinded-out team to a degree, but they've got to start getting the ball inside more. And as we said, they had rebounding problems the last time they played against Toledo St. John's. They're going to have to, I think, pick it up a little more, at least swing the ball quicker and get some shots off a little faster.
Well, I think as long as Northland has the lead here, the game is going to be under their tempo. They're a team that does not want to get up and down and run with Cincinnati Princeton right now. They want to keep it in the half court also. They think they're better off with Big Sullinger on the block and feeding it into him, and I think that's the right approach for them. They have to keep doing what they're doing here in the second half.
In terms of psyche or maybe confidence at this point or even momentum, who do you think it's favoring right now? You mentioned how Weatherspoon really did have to sit. Northland is still in good shape. They're enjoying a lead here at the break. Which way do you think that leans in terms of momentum, confidence, that type of thing?
I don't think Cincinnati Princeton's fazed by it because they've been through these kind of wars before. They can come from behind. But I would say this. The first 3 minutes may determine the winner of this game. I really think this coming out of the box is really important because if Princeton comes out flat, Northland has the capability of burying you. You wouldn't think so in this type of game, but they could. I think Princeton has to go out and run 10-3, something like that early. If they play even, and they get to the fourth quarter, then they can pull it out. But if they get off to a bad start, they're done.
The theme of the day, Jim, has been runs. We've talked about it in all three games, and I'm looking for one here in the second half. Somebody that's going to really take control of this half. Which team is going to get that run here? Which one is going to grab hold of this game and hoist the trophy? What
would you be saying to your guys if you were in the locker room right now for Princeton? First off.
For Princeton, I think I would go in and I think they're going to have to do something a little differently. It wouldn't surprise me if they come out and do something different on the defense end of the floor. Maybe a trap the first pass, maybe get tempo in their favor, create some offense from the defense in the second half. If you're Northland, I think you're going in doing the same thing. Knowing the fact that we had Weatherspoon, one of our top players, on the bench the whole first half, that's got to be pretty positive. You get him back, we keep pounding the ball into Big Sullinger, play the inside-out game and keep attacking, and we should 16 more minutes here.
Yeah, but if I'm Columbus, I take a page from Cincinnati and say, possessions, guys, make every one of them count. Do not be taking a one shot and out, or I'm going to put you on the bench and you will be sitting there picking off splinters. Here's what you got to do. 2 or 3 good passes at least every possession, and don't just take some goofy 3. Make your shots count. Do it in the flow. If not, that's why you blow games.
I know that we talked about both of these teams being an up-tempo type of game. Any chance, though, that we see Columbus Northland maybe slowing it down a little bit because they do have a comfortable lead?
Yep. Don't you think so?
I think so. I think this whole second half is going to be tempo in their favor, and what they want to do is play in that half court here. I think they're going to look to pound the ball in the interior to Sullinger again, keep penetrating, and really I think the tempo and the rebounding that Coach Satch is talking about, those are going to be his keys. Tempo, execution in the half court, and then rebounding.
And how confident are they? They beat Warren Harding, and I wouldn't have thought that possible. They beat them really bad in that semifinal. So right now, they're probably as high as a kite. They understand they're doing all the things the coach is asking them to do, so therefore, there's no panic. There's no thought. They know that they can go and finish a game. And Suann, so often, that's the key to these things. You get the lead, finish the job. Finish it, complete it, as one of their T-shirts said, I do believe.
Yeah. Well, guys, it'll be interesting. We're going to take a short break, but we will be back after the game. In the meantime, all the action will continue from Value City Arena in just a few minutes between Columbus Northland and Cincinnati Princeton, where Northland, the Vikings, I guess they're both the Vikings here, huh? Northland, a 21-15 lead at the half. We're going to have much more coming up after the break.
Start of the second half here. Northland on top of Princeton, 21-15. Let's find out what the Vikings have to do. Send it over to Andre Nod, who's standing by with Princeton head coach Josh Andrews.
Coach, you only scored 15 points in the first half, not what really we expected from you. What do you got to do differently in the second half?
They only scored 21, so we can't complain. Defense wins championships, so if we don't get the thing to go, we got to guard and be tough. Got to make free throws. Somebody's going to have to knock down some big shots in the second half.
Physical game so far in the first half. Is that something that you think they're doing to kind of slow the pace down in the game, or that's just the style of these two teams?
I think it's a little bit of both. We want to run and go play, but, hey, shots aren't falling. They're clogging up the paint. That's what happens. We got to make shots.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andre. There is Josh Andrews, head coach of Princeton Vikings, and he said it. Defense wins championships. He said, yeah, well, I know we got 15, but they only got 21.
Yeah, well, defense is definitely being played right now. Obviously, at the score being 21-15, obviously defense is being played. The thing is, you're going to have to get back to your style of play. Princeton needs to pick up the pace of this game in order to give themselves an opportunity. Because if they try to pound body for body against Northland, they're going to come up just a little bit short at the end.
And the body they're having problems pounding with is Jared Sullinger, because pretty much he's been successful every time they've dumped it down to him in the low post.
Well, they've come to him every time. That's why he's Ohio's Mr. Basketball. He's a force that can be reckoned with down on the block. He's grabbing offensive rebounds, putting back. He's scoring down close and easy. They've got to find a way to contend that in order to get themselves back into this ball game.
Yeah, he's certainly done a good job at that, and he has set the tempo early here in the first half. And when it wasn't him down low, they were going outside and knocking down three-pointers, but they were coming from the young bucks. It wasn't the guys you would expect. It was guys like freshman Jordan Potts who came off the bench, giving a big lift.
Well, Jordan Potts and Trey Burke, they stepped up big time. They're sophomore and freshman respectively for this team, and they come in and didn't miss a beat for this club. They came out and ran the club like it was supposed to be run.
Knocked down three-pointers there in the first half. Potts had 2 of the 3. As you look at the first half stats, second half, second chance points in favor of Northland. Points in the paint you'd expect as well, with Jared Sullinger controlling things down there as well.
They're playing big inside. Fortunately for Northland, they're able to get J.D. Weatherspoon back on the floor in this quarter. And so let's see if they can get back to their original game plan. For Princeton's side, like I said, they've got to pick up the tempo of this thing and stay out of foul trouble. Can't afford to have their bigs pick up any cheap fouls early in this quarter.
Neither team shot extremely well. Princeton just 31% at 5 of 16. Northland just a tad better, 8 of 20 with 40%. Turnovers not really a factor here in the first half. But the biggest factor probably go back to that points in the paint. And that's something that's going to have to be addressed by Princeton if they're going to hope to come out of here with a state championship tonight against the Vikings of Northland. Getting set for this second half, along with Brad Sellers and Andre Nod. I'm Mike Cairns. Glad you could join us for our final of 4 in this state championship Saturday, live in high definition on Sports Time Ohio. We are underway. Trey Burke and the Vikings of Northland with the basketball.
Princeton changed up the matchup a little bit. New look on Trey Burke, staying man-to-man, and anything on the post looking like they're trying to front. Good move so far by the coaching staff to get in there.
And right back inside, but this time it's J.D. Weatherspoon. We haven't seen him for over 3 minutes in the first half.
There's the other half of the 1-2 punch. Down on the block where he's been most effective in this tournament.
So Weatherspoon takes about 30 seconds to get on the scoreboard here in the second half. And once Weatherspoon gets going, that's a 1-2 punch that's going to be tough to deal with. A little give and go with Williams and Marquise Horn. Horn couldn't get it to go down. And the rebound coming back the other way for Northland.
You see they started Jordan Potts in this half. And see, they're playing a deliberate game, walking it up. They're going to get it to the side, try to punch it into somebody. Either Sullinger or Weatherspoon moving around the horn.
Potts and Burke did a tremendous job running the show in the first half for Seth Sullinger.
What a luxury to be able to bring your bigs out of the perimeter and let them handle. That way their little guards don't get pressed all over the court.
So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
No question about it.
Right down inside, Sullinger, a couple of chances down there, couldn't get it to go, tapped away. Here comes Princeton, Seibert. Orlando Williams, Williams is going to go all the way in. Can't get it to go, gets his own rebound, it's blocked. Weatherspoon has it stolen away by Seibert. Seibert gets in and draws the foul, that's number 3 on Weatherspoon.
The worst thing that could happen if you're a Northland fan, picks up a third foul early in the quarter.
Northland foul number 24, J.D. Weatherspoon, his third, team's first.
Actually, I called on that one when Orlando Williams went to the basket.
Jordan Seibert shooting.
Weatherspoon with the turnover and then the foul, his third. Took him about 1 minute and 37 seconds to pick up number 3. Seibert can't connect, 65% free throw shooter. Nobody up off the bench yet for Northland.
Coach Sullinger told me yesterday he believes in his guys. Thinks he knows them well. Doesn't look like he's going to make a move to bring J.D. Weatherspoon out of the game.
So he splits it, 7-point lead for Northland. Here's Von Cornley, the 6'5" senior, on the bench to start the second half. He went with Burke and Potts. That's who's got the basketball right now. Jordan Potts fires it inside to Damon Hale for 2.
Great play by Potts to Hale. Hale cutting back door to get the easy layup.
Williams walking it across the timeline, getting the play from Josh Andrews. Stephon Johnson inside. Johnson with the left hand. Johnson in foul trouble. Didn't see a lot of him in the first half either.
He was in foul trouble and only got in actually 8 minutes and a half, but you see the correction they made. They saw J.D. Weatherspoon with 3 fouls. They went directly at him and let Stephon Johnson post him up.
Trey Burke steps inside.
Trey Burke.
Quickly back the other way. Marcus Davis slows things up as he meets up with Jordan Potts and then has it stolen as he tried to get it down to Marquise Horn by Jared Sullinger.
You got to be impressed with these 2 neophyte guards from Northland. Freshman and sophomore controlling tempo.
27-18. Weatherspoon gets inside, forces the shot. Sullinger back with it the other way. Williams pushes it up ahead. Seibert makes the move on Burke and rolls it in.
Great move by Seibert. Able to get that up and down.
27-20. Seibert's got 8.
Wiley, the momentum is shifting a little bit. Tempo is picking up in the favor of Princeton.
On Hale, powers inside. Sullinger up for the rebound and he crushes it home.
By Jared Sullinger.
So made sure he was going to put that one down.
Sullinger with the exclamation point on that rebound. And a 9-point lead for Northland. Step back is blocked by Weatherspoon. As he races down the other way, here comes Jordan Potts for Northland. Second block for Sullinger.
Going back to that post up down there in Princeton, trying to take advantage of Weatherspoon with those fouls.
Sullinger powering his way inside, picks up the foul. Marquise Horn called for the foul for Princeton.
Very difficult to play behind.
Princeton foul by number 10, Marquise Horn, his third.
Somebody in foul trouble. You have to double down on that. Here you go, Sullinger.
Jared Sullinger
Back down in this one. I'm going to ensure that this will go down. 2-hand flush.
Third personal on Marquise Horn, first team foul here in the second half. Sullinger goes it off.
I'll tell you what, partner. I've been a guy that had to play behind somebody like that on the block. It's begging for
Princeton number 3, Darian Wilkins replaces
just help him
Marquise.
kick the ball out. Sometimes you have a mismatch problem, and it has to be addressed.
Sullinger awarded the Mr. Ohio basketball. He's the 5th junior in the history of the state to receive that honor. Knocks down the free throw. And Northland's got their biggest lead in the basketball game. They're up by 10.
You cannot play, Princeton cannot play our basketball. It's not going to happen. Princeton has to get back to his ready getting his thoroughbreds out, letting them run, create tempo. I love when they went and picked up the pressure full court, trying to create turnovers for Northland. They've got to get back to that in order for them to get themselves a chance in this ball game.
Well, you talk about the rare air, and look at these names that Jared Sullinger put his name to. O.J. Mayo, LeBron James, Greg Simpson, and Jimmy Jackson.
Hey, what do you see dominant on that list?
I see a lot of very good basketball players that are in the next
You're
level.
missing something.
A lot of Ohio State
there
guys.
You go.
I was wondering about that. I was going to let you say it, okay? A lot of Buckeyes on that list.
I don't always have to ring that bell.
I won't even mention the restaurants we couldn't get into when I used your name. I thought for sure we would be good.
No, I'm better in Cleveland than I am Columbus. Can you believe it?
No, I cannot. There's some fine restaurants I was looking forward to getting into with you this week. Doesn't help when we go late at night either when we're getting out of work.
Nah, nobody knows it.
All right, official timeout on the floor. 3:51 left to go. #1 team in the state, led by Mr. Basketball himself. They're getting their swerve on, and they're up by 10. $12,104 in attendance here for this Division I Boys State Championship game, and Northland on top by 10. Individual game tickets, Indian single game tickets now on sale. Purchase tickets for any of the Tribe home games. Take advantage of the new Spring Super Saver pricing and purchase field box seats behind the dugout for as low as $25. Visit Indians.com/value pricing for more details. Still a big anniversary. 30 years ago, it was the state record 51-point performance by Clark Kellogg. Now, some of those baskets were from the semifinal at St. John Arena against Cincinnati LaSalle, which he actually said was his better of the 2 games. And then in the state championship, he puts up 51 on Columbus East, which you happen to be up in the rafters for.
I was in the rafters and thought it being modest because that 51-point performance against one of his future teammates, Granville Waiters, was one heck of a performance. One that I remember just like it was yesterday.
You talked about this, dude. Nobody's had that rock star status that you've ever seen in high school basketball like Clark Kellogg.
Never. He carried his song. It was so nice, but he carried it very well. People love Clark in Cleveland. It just transformed all the way over the state. Had a great following out here. As you see, Princeton gets himself back in the game by turning up the pressure.
You got to thank your dad, because you still don't know how you got tickets to that game to this day, do you?
No, I don't, because you know they were scalping them outside for about $100 a ticket, and that was in '79.
Princeton is back in the basketball game, down by 6. And there's J.D. Weatherspoon, the Xavier commit, and he says, "I am back off the bench and I'm ready to go."
Way to sit it in, big fella.
And then Skies for the rebound. Number 24 is back and ready to play. Sullinger comes back the other way. He was ready to wind up. Marcus Davis took it away from him. Take another look.
We'll take a look at J.D. Weatherspoon as he goes back door. Look how high the elevation, the two-hand flush. Big time finish.
Tried to get it set up one more time off the inbound. And a foul on the play as Weatherspoon going airborne. Got 4 points and 5 rebounds in 8 minutes. That's going to tell you how valuable he is to this basketball team.
And that's the part of the aerial assault that we saw last night. You know, look at the tail of the tape here. Points in the paint. That's where this game is won. Northland has 18 points in the paint to Princeton 6. That's the tail of the tape. The difference in this game.
2 quick fouls for Princeton. Stephon Johnson picked up his 3rd. And now Jordan Seibert picks up his 1st personal and 3rd team foul. And Josh Andrews, team down by 8. And the foul's starting to pile up a little bit as Jordan Seibert goes to the bench. Sullinger inbound. Potts a straight on look at a 3. Bang.
fella stepping up big.
Third three-pointer for the freshman, and the largest lead of the night, 11 points, Northland.
Talked about it earlier, Potts has been an asset, not a liability.
Wilkins with the scoop. 35-26. Let's send it back over to Andre now with another Farmers Insurance sideline report.
And that last time out, Coach Sullinger was getting his team together, and he was telling J.D. Williams, look, we're going to use you and go after you. And something about Jared Sullinger that a lot of people don't know is that he is a great influence on his team. After his dad talked about what they wanted to do, he looked over at J.D. Weatherspoon and he said, look, get no more fouls and we'll dominate and win this game. And you saw it, they came after that timeout, they went right to Weatherspoon to get him into this game mentally more than he saw physically.
And speaking of fouls, Marcus Davis picks up a personal foul. His first, team's fourth. Go back inside to Sullinger. And a foul before the shot on Darian Wilkins.
As long as they continue to play behind Jared Sullinger, it's a tough matchup. Don't want to go to a zone because you got to pick up the tempo of the game.
Princeton number 33, Jordan
Stephon Johnson comes back into the game.
Sorry about that part, but you got to get back to your style of basketball. Up tempo, up tempo, up tempo. Pressure, pressure. No space off the ball.
5 team fouls now for Princeton. Down by 9. On Hale. Hands it off to Sullinger. Sullinger gets inside and picks up another foul. And Stephon Johnson, who just checked in the game, picks up number 4.
Number 5, Stephon Johnson, his fourth, team 6.
Came in the basketball game after a foul. Seibert went out, and now Johnson's going to go back out and sit on the bench with 4.
Coach wanted to happen right there. J.D. Weatherspoon being offensive-minded on the block, looking to create contact, was able to do just that.
J.D. Weatherspoon. That's the first one. Well, there's such a different basketball team.
No question. 1-2 punch, always effective when you can have both of them. But let's talk about that. Coach Sullinger, J.D. Weatherspoon picked up his third foul with 6.5 minutes left to go in the quarter. Most coaches would have pulled him out at that point. Zach just sat there and said, you know what? I know my team. I'm going to rely that he's going to play smart. He's able to stay in the game. It's paying off for his team right now.
And the key is if it's not a turnover, he doesn't pick up that foul.
Exactly.
6 points, 5 rebounds for J.D. Weatherspoon. Seibert down on his block, couldn't get it to go. Nice rebound underneath.
Marquise Horn.
Marquise Horn able to get that offensive rebound and stick back, put it down, keeping his team close.
Minute 15 left to play. Northland in control, up by 9. Hale tried to get it down inside to Sullinger, but it was picked off. Marcus Davis to the rack.
There's the up-tempo style that Tucker Princeton needs to win. Needs to run in order to win.
Give Davis 4. Princeton back within 7. Weatherspoon working his way down. Weatherspoon is fouled. And that's on Marquise Horn.
Princeton foul number 10, Marquise Horn, his fourth
Personal on Horn, bonus situation.
These two bigs in Northland have the entire front line of Princeton in foul trouble. Both the bigs have 4 right now.
JD and Sullinger have all of the free throw attempts combined in this basketball game right now.
They're playing power basketball. They really are. Looking to punch in that either J.D. Weatherspoon or Sullinger will be effective down low, and the 2 men are delivering.
3 for 5 from the free throw stripe, as is Sullinger. They've got 10 attempts, so the 2 big men have split him. Second one coming, and he knocks down both of them. So J.D. Weatherspoon's come in and had a nice third quarter to give his team a nice 9-point cushion.
J.D. Weatherspoon has come in and had a big lift for this team. All that being said, Princeton's still only down 9 in the quarter.
Gets it into Orlando Williams. Williams avoids the block of Sullinger. And down underneath there, Wilkins came up with a rebound, and then the smallest man on the court comes down with a loose ball, and Jordan Potts. And then a foul Josh Andrews. You can see it underneath. Potts had control of the basketball. Wilkins wrapped him up.
Technical foul on the head coach of Princeton.
In the heat of the ball game, you hear what he was complaining about was he thought Orlando Williams got fouled on his offensive set. But you can't lose your composure in this thing. You're only down 9 points. That's 3 possessions out of here.
As J.D. Weatherspoon hits it a free throw line partner. Let's send it over to Andre Knott.
You know what, guys? That was coming from a long way. And I think Josh Andrews, he sees his fans, he sees his players getting frustrated. And at some point in time, there's something has to be said because his players feel like they can't play their game right now. And he sees with 25 seconds to go in this third quarter, if they don't get some kind of rhythm and get his players back into it, they're going to lose this game.
Well, Andre, you're not going to get that rhythm listening to the crowd out here as they are, because they're going to voice their opinion no matter what. You got to get control of your ball club. Say, listen, get back to the way we play. Princeton got to the state final for playing a specific way. Right now, they're playing helter-skelter. I can't actually tell what they're trying to accomplish.
One more free throw coming. J.D. Weatherspoon, 9 points, 5 rebounds. And that one rattles out. 9 points in this third quarter. All 9 of J.D.'s points have come here in the third quarter, and it's a 10-point lead for the Northland Vikings.
Mike, the worst thing you can do as a player is lose your composure at any point in the ball game. I mean, a barrage of points can be scored in a minute. So 9 points can easily be down to 4 in a few trips up and down the court. You don't want to give a team an opportunity to widen the lead by going to the line making free throws uncontested.
Ricky Bennett in the basketball game for Northland. Trey Burke running down the clock. Pulls up. Too strong. Bennett battles for the rebound, but he's going to get called for the foul as Seibert collected the basketball, and you hear the Princeton fans cheer.
Jordan Seibert going up high to grab that one. Now they've got almost 6 ticks on the clock left. Let's see if they can convert something. Going into the end of the quarter on a positive note.
3 seconds left. Davis rises for 3. It rattled in and out. And that's the way the third quarter comes to an end. So J.D. Weatherspoon comes off the bench after early foul trouble, picks up 9 points here in this third quarter. And Northland, the #1 team in the state, led by Mr. Basketball, they're on top by 10. Ready to start the fourth quarter here from Value City Arena. Mike Aarons, Brad Sellers, Andre Knott. This boys Division I state championship game. Northland on top by 10. Princeton going cold from beyond the arc as they tried to drill the 3 to end the quarter. They've missed their last 8 3-point attempts, 1 for 10 from beyond the arc today. And you look at the foul trouble, which has been a frustrating thing for head coach Josh Andrews, Marquise Horn, Stephon Johnson, 2 of their starters, and then Darian Wilkins coming off the bench has collected 3. But Princeton's got the basketball right now. And Brad, they've got to play. They've got to make a run.
Right now, you got to play. 8 minutes left to go in this game. Can't worry about the fouls being called, the ones not being called. You just got to come out here and play. We got to the state final for a specific reason. They're playing good basketball. We got to get back to that and try to chip away at this lead.
Jordan Seibert collects the foul on this play here on Jared Sullinger. It's just the 3rd team foul, 2nd personal, and Seibert knocks it down.
Seibert came out of the timeout, fired up. He's trying to implore his teammates to come on, ride with me. We got to put up a fight here. Can't give up the ghost.
Averaging 15 points a game, he leads all scorers with 12. Potts, double team, gets it to Trey Burke. He's trying to spread out that Princeton defense right now.
It's not what you want to do. You don't want to slow the tempo down. Want to get back into your ball game. off by that young man, and J.D. Witherspoon, he's going to finish around that hoop.
Witherspoon with some major air knocked it down. Three-point basket the other way, and look out. Mr. Ohio State starting to heat up himself. 7-point game. Pressure. Seibert nearly had that basketball. Potts. And Witherspoon looked like he was about to crank home another one.
He was about to flush that one as well, but you see Jordan Seibert coming out with the energy. If you saw anything in the timeout before, partner, what you saw was a little verbal exchange between Seibert and Sullinger, two future Buckeyes. One that seemed to fire up someone else. Seibert's come out here on a mission.
Marcus Davis called for the foul, so Witherspoon will go to the line, and we'll send it over to Andre now for their Farmers Insurance sideline report.
In between the quarters, going from the third to the fourth, all you heard on the Princeton sideline from Josh Andrews was about check your emotions when you get back out in the court and go out and play Princeton basketball. He didn't talk about offense. He said, we're going to trap and we're going to change this tempo in this game. And he just kept telling his guys, change your attitude. Don't worry about the refereeing. Let's get to be the best 8 minutes and we can still win this game. And I think we saw that coming out. They want to front Sullinger on defense, and they want to try to trap these young guards and try to change the tempo as soon as possible.
Thanks, Andre. Yeah, partner, you called it. Great advice. And Josh Andrews is like, you got to put it behind you. There's nothing you can do. You've got 1 quarter left to play if you want to win a state championship, and we're going home.
Mike, they call it focus. You got to focus on the task at hand. That's the task at hand. Seibert down the lane, creating the opportunity, drop off the horn, able to go to the line and get 2 free throws. But you got to focus out here.
Another foul on Jared Sullinger. Take another look. Seibert, no-look action.
Marquise Horn shooting 2.
Princeton trying to take advantage. Marquise Horn rattles the first of 2 outs. 70% free throw shooter. Sullinger collects his second personal foul.
Seibert has channeled his energy. Becoming a force out here. Same thing we talked about in the pregame. Got to be able to do that.
Sullinger comes down with a rebound. 6.5 left to go. 11th rebound of the contest for Sullinger to go along with 11 points. So a double-double for Jared Sullinger here in the Division I state championship game.
Great pressure by Seibert right there. What you got to do is you got 2 young guards out here. You got to be all over them like a blanket. Got to make them pick up the ball, hopefully create some turnovers, not let them initiate the offense easily the way they want to get down to their big Sullinger and Witherspoon on the block.
Turnover there. Princeton looking to work their way back into this basketball game. Down by 9. 2 of the top teams in the country. As Orlando Williams works his way in.
Great post up by Orlando Williams. So there's a size advantage over Trey Burke. Took him right down to the block too.
Potts got in and then turned the ball over.
Those are the turnovers I'm talking about.
Marcus Davis to Seibert, who got in and got fouled.
That's the tempo Princeton needs to play to be successful. They cannot go pound for pound with Northland.
Ricky Bennett going to get called for the foul here as Princeton pushing.
Mike, I would tell you, very simple game. Stay to the basics, what you do best. Most of the time, you ought to come out on the strong end of it, end of things.
Seibert collects his 16th point of the night to lead all scorers. Trey Burke heads out along with Ricky Bennett. Damon Hale checks in, and so does Javon Cornley. 6 points in this quarter for Seibert as he winds and fires, give him 7. There's 7 points and 17 on the night. And Princeton, the closest they've been in a while. They're within 5, partner.
Yes, and that pressure's picking up. Don't think Northland's not hearing it.
As you look at the Seibert and Sullinger watch there, it's Princeton on a 7-2 run over the last minute and 45 seconds.
When you're able to focus and channel energy and get down and to do the things that have been successful to you, usually works out pretty well.
Williams short. Jordan Potts comes down with a rebound, gets it into the offensive zone. And Sullinger going to get tied up. Possession arrow, though, going to stay with Northland. And a nice job by Stephon Johnson. He called he had Oh, he's going to get called for the foul. Originally, I thought they raised the thumbs for a tie-up.
Yeah, he thought he was going to get it, but you're going to see it right here. Sullinger cut back door. Maybe a travel right there. Little body-to-body contact. You got 4 fouls. You can't make a play on a ball like that.
So Stephon Johnson has fouled out. 4 points and 3 rebounds. Sullinger knocks it down. Marquise Horn has 4. Those are the 2 immediate people in foul trouble for Princeton. J.D. Weatherspoon with 3, but he's had that since the start of the second half. As Jared Sullinger knocks down a couple of baskets, 13 points, 11 rebounds for the junior.
3 possessions from being in the ball game, Princeton is. Gotta look to get a quality look on this end. Great look right there.
Orlando Williams, they have not been able to knock down those 3-pointers. 2 for 12 from beyond the arc. Last touch by Northland, so it'll be Princeton basketball, but they have not really put any pressure on with that long-range shot tonight.
Been off early on, but you know, as things wind down, you only need a couple to go.
3 ball from the corner, no good. Weatherspoon skies for the rebound. Pressure now from Princeton. Weatherspoon breaks the press. Got numbers. Weatherspoon takes it all the way in.
J.D. Weatherspoon right there.
Weatherspoon 15 points in 14 minutes. 3 ball.
There's one to go.
Williams fell down after the shot, open for a call. Weatherspoon dumps it inside. Devon Hale.
Points to the paint again for Northland.
Devon Corley with the rebound and the basket down on the other end, and the second chance points for Darian Wilkins for Princeton.
Not only the second chance points, but they're being brought by the tempo being picked up.
6-point lead, turnover, 3-on-1 Princeton. Seibert. 4-point game.
Here we go.
Timeout. Northland. 7-2 run for Princeton over the last 53 seconds. The defensive pressure is picked up in this Division I state championship game.
No question about it. Pressure leading to turnovers.
Full timeout for Coach Sullinger and Northland. The Vikings of Cincinnati Princeton making a run. They're within 4 here on Sports Time Ohio. The OHSAA basketball championships are brought to you by Farmers Insurance. Farmers, get you back where you belong. Send it over to Andre Knott with another Farmers Insurance sideline report.
You know, Coach Sullinger has been very patient with his team throughout the game, and he doesn't yell and scream at his guys during timeouts. But in the last one, he didn't talk about offense. He said we need to rebound and do not let the emotions in this game change after you've dealt with it. And he said it's too late in the season to be tired. Get out there and rebound and play the way you've been taught.
Our ace stat guy, Tommy Boshemick, tells me this is the closest that this game has been since back when it was 1915. Been a while, partner.
No question about it. Princeton has fought his way back into this contest. And what you have right now is, and you also remember when you got 2 young guards out there, I don't know if they're going to be focused enough to get them down the stretch, but hopefully they will if you're a Northland fan.
Devon Hale on the drive. Weatherspoon skied for the rebound, and he's fouled by Darren Wilkins. And a good idea by Coach Sullinger there, knowing Princeton's in the double bonus situation, spreading things out, gets every foul, 2 shots.
Yes, you had Hale going to the hoop, and Weatherspoon chasing it down, trying to get the offensive rebound. Fortunately, was tapped a little bit by Wilkins.
Weatherspoon, 7 for 11 from the line. 15 points, 7 have come from the free throw line. For 15.7 boards in 16 minutes. Too strong off the back iron. 3:13 left to go here in this boys Division I state championship game. Congratulations to all of the champs here on Championship Saturday from Value City Arena. Second one is good. 5-point lead for Northland.
Northland has to look to get a stop here. Right now, they can't afford to trade baskets with Princeton.
Seibert with the basketball, looking for some room. Spots up for three. Off the front rim. Rebound by Wilkins. Wilkins couldn't get it to go. Trey Burke comes down with a rebound for Northland. Pushes it up ahead. Here comes Witherspoon.
There's the finish of the night.
Ball by J.D. Witherspoon.
Hate to see the person that jumps with that.
7-point lead for Northland as Witherspoon crushed it home with the left hand.
Great drive by Orlando Williams to get down the lane. Look go to the line, have a chance to knock down two.
Take another look at this one here. 2-on-1, you knew what was coming.
His first team 6.
Here's the drop off.
Orlando Williams shooting 2.
Look at the air that he gets. That is just incredible.
A young man can get up off the floor.
So 4 dunks for Northland in the second half alone. As Orlando Williams knocks down his 12th point, 7 rebounds. Williams has been the man at the line tonight for Princeton.
O's been active, trying to keep his team active. Scrapping and clawing, trying to get back in this thing.
Tried to follow up his own shot, didn't need to. It was pure. 53-48, hang on. This one not over with 2:32 left to go as Josh Andrews wants a timeout to talk things over with his squad.
Well, you got a couple possessions down. Northland's up 2 full possessions. Princeton has to regain its focus as it's been doing. Come down here and look to be offensive-minded. Take an opportunity when it presents itself.
This is the kid that I just think's been the best kid in the tournament, far and away. I mean, you just want to hold your breath every time you see him grab the basketball.
That's special around the rim. He's finishing with authority. There's no one jumping in the way because now he has the respect of everybody out on the floor. Can't chase that down. Some guys you just got to get out the way of. And his teammates have been doing a great job getting down the lane, creating the opportunities for the draw and kick so he can finish just like what you saw.
Clear out of the way and watch.
Better get out the way because you go up there and try to block it, you might get hurt.
If you had a cell phone with you, you'd take a picture.
No doubt about it. I see some flags off in here, though. I mean, if you look up about it, his head is almost by the rim when he's throwing these things down.
Look at the game reset. Princeton and Northland both with 2 full timeouts and each with a 30-second. And Northland still got a foul to give, and the possession arrow favoring the Northland Vikings. 2:32 left to go as you look at the reset. 53-48. Northland with the basketball. Going to try to stretch things out, knowing that it's a double bonus situation for them. Got it inside. Sullinger is fouled by Seibert. Second personal for Jordan.
Princeton foul on number 15, Marcus Davis.
Look at Sullinger get down the lane.
Jared Sullinger.
Ran the length of the court. Now to get down to the chance to make 2 free throws.
Sullinger misses 5 of 8 now from the charity stripe. 13 points, 11 rebounds. 13 of 21 as a team, shooting 62% from the line. Second one is no good. And tapped in. How about that? Counts as 1. It's a 1-point basket as Marcus Horn went up and tapped it in. Look at Orlando Williams work his way inside, gets his own rebound, swatted away by Jared Sullinger.
Let's take a look at this free throw because that's a break. That's actually supposed to be 2 points. The free throw by Sullinger is missed here. It's out of the rim. It's going to come back out. Out of the rim. That's a 2-point tapping in right there. That's not a 1-point shot.
Good call, partner. Gave him 1.
But what do I know?
I think your resume says enough. I got you. 55-48.
We also have the luxury of watching it on replay too, so hard to call things when they're in the thick of things. Princeton's got to look to score right here. No turnovers.
He'll give and go.
Great
nice
drive.
scoop for Marquise Horn. Marquise Horn gets it to go.
Only down 5 points here.
Pressure with 1:41 left to go. Burke and Potts.
Gonna break the line. They're gonna get 10 seconds.
10-second violation.
2 young guards in the backcourt. Got to be aware of the clock at all times.
Nice job by Princeton.
Princeton come out with a 3-point goal here. We got a ball game.
And one of their big problems are 3 for 15 from out there tonight.
Can't worry about the other 30 minutes. I just need 1 to go right now. Just 1 to go.
Is this the one? No,
Williams
gets his own rebound again. Williams inside, and Williams is fouled.
Take a 3 or 3-point play. This is the type of finish you expect from 1 and 2 in the state.
Jordan Potts gets called for the personal, his second and the 7th team foul. And Orlando Williams been very active on the offensive boards here in the second half.
He's 6'5", and the thing about it is he knows he's playing against smaller guards. So he's taking this game closer to the rim, looking for offensive rebounding opportunities.
58% free throw shooting for Princeton, 11 of 19. Make that 12 for 20. So 14 points, 7 of those coming from the free throw line to go along with 10 rebounds. And Seibert nearly came up with the steal. And Satch Sullinger wants a timeout. How many times have we seen somebody go up in this tournament and steal balls just going up and taking it away with 2 hands?
Satch Sullinger is irate, and he's irate not at his young guards, but the fact is you cannot lob passes out here. You cannot throw soft passes, especially when guys are shooting passing lanes, looking for steals, and that's what happened there. You've got to push this thing up, or you're going to get another 10-second call in the backcourt.
Unfortunately, things are going to slow down with the foul trouble on both of these teams. You look at the pressure that Princeton has applied to make this run here in the second half, down by as much as 11 at times. But the Vikes just kept on coming, taking advantage of all sorts of steals. You see Seibert come up with one there, and the big finish. Princeton just not going away.
No, Princeton's not going to go away. And typically they're showing you the Cincinnati mentality. Cincinnati high school basketball is strong-minded. It doesn't go quietly into the night. And you're seeing that right now. The thing about it, if you're Northland on the other side, you got to take care of the basketball. Be deliberate. Understand that you got to break the backcourt timeline within 10 seconds. And the other thing, you can't afford any turnovers. You're in a position now where you're in the penalty. Make Princeton foul you. Go to the line. Make free throws. Close this game out.
Every bit of the 12,104 here at this Division I state championship game in their seats, waiting for the finish of this one. As Brad said, everything you would expect from the top 2 teams in the state of Ohio. Potts looking to get it inbounds to Burke. Burke checked by Davis. To slow it down, he has to get it across the timeline, and he does. There comes the trap. Over to Damon Hale. Under a minute left to go. Davis working on Burke, and he fouled him.
Trey Burke being strong with the basketball right there. Not allowing the Princeton defender to strip him from behind. Now he's going to have to go to the line. He's going to get a chance to shoot 2 free throws here.
First free throws of the night.
They need those free throws. This is going to turn into a free throw contest all the way out. Let's see who can convert.
Neither team shooting very well. 60% for Princeton, 62% for Northland. As Burke bends and fires, and that one's good as we send it over to Andre Knopf for another Farmers Insurance sideline report.
When it comes back on the Princeton side, they're going to try to run everything through Jordan Seibert, but they feel like Seibert's going to be double teamed, so the coaching staff wants their wings to go to the basket. He told them, don't worry about trying to score 3 points. Go to the basket, try to put the ball in the hole, get fouled, and continue to make this game go as long as they possibly can as they're playing.
Thank you, Andre. Burke makes both. Seibert looking for some room. Seibert going baseline, and he is fouled. It's a 1-and-1. So Jordan Seibert, 66% free throw shooter, going to go to the line. Seibert, 5 of 6 from the charity stripe tonight. He's got 19 points to lead all scorers. 43.1 seconds left to go, 6-point lead. And Seibert is pure with the first.
Steps to the line, makes a big free throw. 43 seconds left in this ball game. Definitely going to be determined by who can make free throws.
Seibert bends and fires. So he knocks down two, so Josh Andrews is going to call a timeout. He's going to take a full timeout with 42.5 seconds left to go, and his team down by 4, partner.
They battle back. They battle back for sure. They've done it with intensity, playing smart, being focused, and saying, listen, we got one shot at this thing. Let's come together as a group and push through and see if we can take that title back with us to Cincinnati.
Those early fouls called on Princeton in the second half here, and then you got the technical foul. Things kind of added up, and as you look at the clock and you look at what's left, Princeton in the double bonus situation, 1-1 Northland. It's like every time now somebody goes down the court, you look at those early fouls that were called in the beginning of the third and the start of the fourth. This is where you don't want to be.
They come back to haunt you. But what you do now is you throw all that out the window. You say, we got 43 seconds left in this ball game. Any chance we get to make an early steal, we go for it. If we're not, we foul and we put somebody on the line.
All right, let's send it back over to our partner, Andre Nutt.
I think Coach Sellers over there, who's on everything, has it just right. They're going to go for a steal. They're going to look to trap. But if not, they're going to leave 30, Hale, alone. Let him get the ball, and they want to foul him if he's in the game. He is in there, so they're going to go for the trap on the young guys. They're going to let 30 get the ball, and they're going to foul him if it goes according to their plan.
Andre Nutt, another Farmers Insurance sideline report. Jordan Potts couldn't get anybody, and he turned the ball over, called for 5 seconds, and it was checked by Marcus Davis. So the freshman with a costly turnover, because what happens? Nothing comes off the clock. Princeton basketball. Williams for 3. Got it! 1-point game.
Ball game now.
Burke breaks the trap. Gets it to Hale. Hale along the left sideline to Burke, and he's fouled by Orlando Williams. Williams' third personal foul, and 2 free throws coming.
Princeton foul by number 1, Orlando Williams, his third.
For Burke, take another look at the three-pointer.
Great study up by Orlando Williams. And a way to knock it down and put himself back, put this team back in the ball game. The thing that I was trying to tell you, Mike, is this. You go down to a tight ball game, you've got a sophomore and a freshman in the backcourt. Those two guys have played tremendous basketball all today. But you got to go with experience down the stretch. Also, I'm also in favor of having big players take the ball out. That way, they can find people. In that case there, Jordan Potts just could not find anybody.
You've been spot on today, partner. You've been making calls from the sideline. You've been making calls from the huddle. You would think we got something going on over there. You think we have some microphones over there.
No, this is just situation basketball. I've seen it so many times. I've been in it so many times. I've made those same type of mistakes. And they're not intentional by the players. They just happen. And then you have a chance to step back and have experience with it. You'll see what you need to do. In this case here, if you're Northland, don't panic. Don't panic. You're going to take it side out, get the ball in bounds. They still have to foul you because you have the lead. You can wind this clock on down. On the other hand, Princeton has to come out, try for a quick steal, and whoever catches the ball next got to have a hard hat quickly.
See the OSU recruit watch as we send it over to Andre Nutt.
Guys, you got to give Josh Andrews a ton of credit for getting his team back into this game. This fourth quarter has been dominated by their emotion. He's already started talking to his team about when they get the lead, when they get the ball back. He wants to go full court man-to-man, and he told his team, no more fouling. We're going to win this game by playing straight up when we get the ball back.
Trey Burke will shoot 2.
Well, 27.9 seconds to decide which Vikings will walk away with a state championship, and Burke misses.
Young fellas got to steady up right here. It's a big free throw. They got to have this one go down.
There is nobody in the lane. If you notice, 4 red shirts. Everybody has dropped back for Northland, and it's a 2-point basketball game. Plenty of time to set something up. Are they going to play for the final shot?
No, they're not going to play. They're going to go quick. They don't have time to play for the final shot. Got to give themselves an opportunity just in case the shot is off.
Williams for the lead. Short, and he's fouled. Trey Burke comes up with a foul, and Orlando Williams is going to the free throw line to shoot three.
Knew they weren't going to play for the shot. They'll get a quick turn at it. Unfortunately for Northland, Trey hacked him on the shot right here. Great draw, though, by Orlando Williams to kick out a little bit.
I got into him at the end with the body. 6 offensive rebounds. He's 7 for 12. It's a one-point basketball game with 14.5 seconds to go. The last Princeton lead, 10-9. A chance for Williams to tie it with his second of 3. No good. One more coming.
I told you we had a ball game. I don't care about what happened in the other 32 minutes. The last 2 minutes of this type of game is going to be a barn burner.
Williams, 18 points, tied. 58 all. 14 and a half seconds left to go. Here comes the pressure. Burke,
Gotta
met
go
by
quick, young
Davis.
fella. Gotta go quick.
9. And Satch Sullinger wants a timeout with 7.5 seconds left to go. Tied at 58. What a finish here between the best 2 teams in the state in Division I for the state championship. A timeout, 60-second timeout called by Satch Sullinger. And what a comeback for the Princeton Vikings, who were left for dead after that technical foul called on their head coach.
Gotta tip their hat to them. They were left for dead. They were able to come back, regain their composure, get focused, implement their game plan, put themselves right back in the ball game. We got a 58-58 tie with 7.5 seconds left to go. They're going to come out and just play hard defense and try to force this thing into overtime. If you're Northland on the other side, you got to come out. Trey Burke, you got to go into Sullinger or J.D. Witherspoon off the catch of the inbound pass and allow your 2 stars to try to win this thing on out.
All right, let's send it over to Andre Knott and find out what's going to happen here.
Hey, somebody tell Brad Sellers I'm the sideline guy going to tell you what's going to happen. Coming up, if they front, Sullinger look for the backdoor alley-oop to Williams. And that's the play that they're basically going to do. They're going to see if they front Sullinger, and they're going to go off of that and try to get the ball down low quickly.
7.5 seconds left to go. Princeton trailed by 10 points twice here in the 4th quarter. Sullinger for the win. He's fouled. He's fouled. Marcus Davis can't believe it with 2.7 seconds left to go. Sullinger forced up, Witherspoon got the ball, and Sullinger forced up a shot, as you can see. Davis called for the foul.
Davis just did a reactionary play. Didn't intend to foul him, just was creative. But I tell you again, when the game is on the line, you have stars on the team for a reason. You go to them to get you here. You might as well go to them to close the game out. Now, Jared Sullinger has a chance to step to the line here and make a couple free throws to walk Northland out of here with a title.
2.7 seconds left to go. Each team still with a timeout left. Johnson and Davis have both fouled out, and there's a timeout call, 30-second timeout. With 2.7 seconds left to go, Sullinger will go to the free throw line, where he is 5 of 8. They have not shot well from the free throw line tonight. 64%, 16 to 25. So Cincinnati Princeton is out of timeouts. This one's going to be won right here at the line.
Oh, no question. Listen, they put the ball in the hand of their best player to make a play, because what would happen is if they stepped up on it, it was going to look for an alley-oop to J.D. Witherspoon. In this case, he had to force up a shot. Unfortunately for Princeton, Davis just got a hack on his sideline. On his forearm. Is going to send Sullinger to the line for an attempt at 2. No guarantee that he's going to drop him, but being Ohio, Mr. Basketball, you got to think the odds are good.
Again, they'll pull everybody off the line. except for Sullinger. 13 points, 5 of 8. This is for the lead with 2.7 seconds left to go, and it's in.
Now, if you're Northland on defense here, Princeton has to get the ball out and get a shot up quickly. You need to match the players right now so no one gets a clean, clear look at a three.
Sullinger, 2-point game. Mr. Basketball is all about the pressure here in the Division I state championship game.
Here's Trey Burke.
One more coming.
Hale to match to Siebert on this side.
Got to get it going. 2 seconds left to go. Williams fires. It was online but short. And the Northland Vikings have collected their first ever state championship with a thrilling 60-58 win over Cincinnati Princeton.
Great game. Great game.
That's Sullinger getting the hug for his Northland Vikings, who finished the season 27-1. #1 team in the final AP poll, 16th ranked team in the country. And after 9 years at Northland, Satch Sullinger has the school's first ever state championship.
You got to tip your hat to Coach Satch Sullinger. He's done a great job with this program. Besides that, does a great job with his kids. And so he put them in a position and just trusted them down the stretch that they were going to make a play. Now what you'll see next year, you'll see Trey Burke, Jordan Potts grow so much from this type of game. So when they come in next year, they'll have command of this team going forward.
What a great game between the two best teams in the state. Princeton trailed by 10 twice in the fourth quarter, down 42-32, 7:19 left to go in the fourth quarter, and they make a power run to tie this one up at 58-58. They go an unbelievable 26-16 run to get back into the basketball game, and it all comes down to free throws with Mr. Basketball on the line.
I'm going to stand and applaud this effort by Princeton because they didn't have a chance to get back in the game early on. They put themselves in a position to win. Great job, Princeton.
Andre Knott standing by with the state championship head coach, Satch Sullinger.
Well, Coach, it seems like those last 8 minutes had about 4 different games going on. Talk about your emotions and your feelings after winning this game.
Well, I was nervous. I was seeing some underclassmen, freshmen, sophomore mistakes, but I had to roll with them, man. I mean, you got to dance with the ones that brought you, man. And, you know, in my mind, I'm going, you know, I just got to trust them, and that's what I did.
Talk about having your son on the free throw line with all that pressure. You know he's a heck of a player, but as a father, he's got to have a different feeling.
That's the moment he's been raised for. When you practice free throws, you have a right to make them. The guys that don't make them are the ones that haven't practiced, and subconsciously they know they're not prepared for it.
I would have told you 9 years ago you would have to rely on a sophomore and a freshman lead guard to win a state championship. Would you believe me?
If they can play as good as he's, yes.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks, Andre. Always very colorful, Satch Sullinger. I know you're a big fan of Satch Sullinger's, and I know you're pretty proud of him because you're pretty close to him, and you've had a chance to speak to him and some of his boys about, you know, what it means. Just, you know, go through the being an athlete and responsibilities and a lot more than just being on a basketball court.
Well, you know, basketball is such a fleeting moment. You know, I've known Satch for such a long time, and it's not only what he does with his program, it's what he does with his kids. And his kids here, 20 years ago, the town of Columbus embraced me as a player coming in this town. Satch has been out here for a long time, making a difference in kids' lives. And what you saw there here is kids grow up in a game like today. So they'll walk out of here not only as state champions, but better people on the, and be able to contribute better to the community as well.
You see the runner-up medals being handed out to the Vikings of Princeton. You saw the shot there of Orlando Williams, who really one of the big reasons that Princeton made that run in the fourth quarter as he just kind of willed his team. Both Williams and Seibert combined for 40 points in the basketball game. But Orlando Williams hitting a big three-point shot and then getting the chance to give him the lead from the free throw line. He did everything you could ask of that senior to get his team a state title.
Between Orlando Williams, the senior, trying to not allow his team to go out like that, and Seibert coming in, Seibert coming in playing the type of game he's played all day to keep them just in the contest was a feat within itself.
Orlando Williams, the Conference Player of the Year, Division I All-Ohio, and on his way to Miami of Ohio. And what probably hurts more than the loss is knowing how close you were to the win.
Yeah, you know, it's something, like I said, you're going to remember for all of your life. Just to get here knocking on the door and have an opportunity to win. You hate to lose a game where someone gets to go to the foul line in the final seconds of a game to nail a game. And so it's just one of the unfortunate things of this game that someone has to win and then it has to be a loser. And typically we get to see the raw emotion of the loser displayed in front of the entire state.
You could ask 10 players what they'd rather have, to be blown out in a state championship game or lose by 1, and probably 9 out of 10 would tell you they want to be blown out, because it's tougher as the game goes on and you know there's not a chance. It seeps in earlier, but like this, it doesn't hit you until you walk off the court and the buzzer sounds.
No doubt. This is a difficult loss for sure. It's a difficult loss to handle, but I tell you what, they have nothing to hang their heads for. Princeton played very well, represented the city of Cincinnati very well, represented their school and their parents just as proudly.
Well, they're the first team in 26 years to go undefeated in that Greater Miami Conference. They went 14-0 and got themselves here, and their season under head coach Josh Andrews will end at 25-2 in their second state appearance, the first since 1972.
Assistant coach Kumar Morris.
They were state semifinalists in '66
Assistant coach Chris Cronin.
and 2009.
Assistant coach Tom Cassidy.
Of course, the death of Bill Brewer, as Andre Knott mentioned, they wear his patch over their heart. Those emotions riding on Princeton as well. You see Josh Andrews getting the runner-up medal, and the commissioner of the OHSAA, Dr. Dan Ross, will take things over and hand out the state runner-up championship trophy to the Vikings of Cincinnati Princeton.
State Division I runner-up trophy.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to both of these teams on an exciting Division I final. Princeton Vikings, let's turn and face your fans. Gentlemen, stand strong. You've had an outstanding season and an exciting tournament run. Guys, congratulations. You're role models in your community. You serviced the elementary schools. You had an exciting conference season. You went undefeated, the first undefeated team in 26 years in the GMC. And you stood strong today in this championship game, guys. Gentlemen, on behalf of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, Board of Directors, member schools and staff, I'd like to present you the Division I runner-up trophy for 2009. Great jobs, gentlemen.
There is Orlando Williams, one of 3 graduating seniors in the starting 5, 4 altogether. And that was Steve Neal giving the presentation for the OHSAA. And a 25-2 season, but certainly nothing to hang their heads about. Is Josh Andrews and company pulling off that first undefeated season in GMC in 26 years. Take a look quickly at the final stats before we head over to Northland. And the field goal percentage certainly went up in the second half, in the fourth quarter in particular for Princeton. And some big three-point shots, as Brad pointed out. They had shot horrible from the line, but Brad said, didn't matter. Just matter what you did over the last 5 or 6 minutes, and then the final 42 seconds at that point.
You know, you're just trying to win. Sometimes you just try to eke out a win when you can. In this case, Princeton was able to drill them in from deep, got themselves back in the ball game. I don't think you can ask for anything else, getting 7.5 seconds left to go in the ball game to score tied and having a chance to win the thing.
And the points in the paint. Princeton making a run there in the fourth quarter to close that gap as well. And then you look at the fourth quarter points. Princeton outscoring Northland and nearly forcing overtime, as this one was decided by Jared Sullinger's free throws with 2.6 seconds left to go. For the Vikings of Northland at 27-1. Final AP rank at #1 in the state. Collecting their first ever state championship. And having a huge crowd on hand as you look at the freshman Jordan Potts with some key minutes in this state tournament. He was huge in the semifinals. Got rattled a little bit coming down the stretch in this one here, as you got to give the Princeton Vikings a lot of credit, as Potts and Burke felt the pressure, but held their own and held their ground. And you heard Satch Sullinger talk about his young guys at the point, because they are going to be the future of this team. And you just can't say enough about the minutes and the key minutes that they've gotten here in a state championship game with a #1 versus #2 matchup, a national ranking type of matchup on this stage.
Invaluable experience, can't be passed on. And what you see, those two young men, they might have bent a little bit, but they didn't break. They stayed right with it and finished this thing on out. They'll be better ball players for that for the years to come.
I'm going to go out on a limb a little bit and say that the Northland Vikings might be the odds-on favorite again next year, with Burke and Potts at the point, and then Weatherspoon and Sullinger coming back as juniors. Keshawn Lewis came off the bench. He's another freshman. I mean, not that I want to give out any, but the early edge, partner, this is the #1 ranked team in the state that won a state championship.
They're solid #1 coming back. And I got to think that 16th place or 15th place that they had in the USA Today poll is definitely a top 10 placement for next year.
Assistant coach Michael Klaus. Assistant coach Lee Horston.
Fans looking on in anticipation of the
Assistant coach Frank Smith.
Division I state championship trophy being handed over for the first time in school history to the Vikings of Northland.
And head coach James Satch Sullinger.
A big round of applause for Satch Sullinger, collecting his hardware, and now the most important one of all, the one you bring back to the school and display in the trophy case. Because guess what? There's a state championship basketball trophy coming back to Columbus Northland. Steve Neal with a presentation.
Give it up one time to the Vikings from Northland, ladies and gentlemen. The second school from Columbus Public City Schools in 2 weeks to win a state championship. But #1 is important, ladies and gentlemen. #1 is important as the girls, in their first championship appearance in 1982, won the state championship. And today, in their first appearance in the state championship game, Northland brings home the championship trophy. Gentlemen, as you return to your school with this trophy, realize that this trophy embodies leadership. It symbolizes sportsmanship. It symbolizes character, and most important, integrity. Gentlemen, on behalf of the OHSAA Board of Directors, member schools and staff, I'd like to present to you the Division I trophy for 2009.
Congratulations to the Vikings of Columbus Northland in their first ever state championship appearance. They hit a home run.
You know, you get to roll the dice once in a life sometimes. And they came here focused. The thing they talked about was coming here and trying to close it out. And they did just that. You're at home, you get a chance to close it out. And what we saw as commentators and as a fan base audience, you saw a great ball game, a great finish.
Not a lot of guys are going to give up that trophy. Everybody wants a handle, and not a lot of people are going to give up a chance to hold on to the precious hardware. Number one's always special because you can always add on to it, but you can't take it away from the ones that did it the first time.
No doubt about that.
All right, let's send it over to Andre Knott, standing by with one of the stars of this state championship win, Big Jared Sullinger.
Jared, take us through being on the free throw line at the end of the game. What was going through your mind?
I didn't think about absolutely nothing. From day one, my older brothers put pressure on me, and I felt like I told the team at the timeout, I said, you give me the ball, we will come out with a W, and that's where I handle my business, and that's what we did.
How impressed were you that JD gets in foul trouble early, and you guys were able to still maintain the lead and play well?
One thing that I had to do is, JD told me to go to work, and you know, I had to take care of business. And he just kept encouraging me, and I held it off, and then the second half, JD finished it.
How much do your brothers, and you kind of mentioned it already, but we all know about your brothers, how much did they help you get to this point?
Helped me a lot. I couldn't get through life without them. I love them to death.
Well, now that you know what everybody else is going to want now, another one.
Yeah. So, you know, celebrate tonight. Tomorrow, we just go back to work. You know, it's never ending.
Great job tonight. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
All right, that's Jared Sullinger. Back to you guys.
No early predictions. He didn't get suckered in there by Andre as Jared comes up with 15 points, 11 rebounds. Great story in the Columbus Dispatch earlier last week about, you know, a lot of people were wondering why Jared Sullinger chose Ohio State so early, but it all goes back to his brother JJ when they were the #1 team in the country. They lost a heartbreaker to Florida, and, you know, instead of going back and you know, sitting with his teammates and going through that, he made a point in this article to come back out and hug his younger brother at the time, tears in his eyes. He had been crying and said, no matter what you do, if you ever get the chance to play for this coaching staff, you got to take advantage of it and play for them because they've done so much for me in my life. And at that point right there, Jared Sullinger said, if I ever get the chance to be a Buckeye, there's no question what I'm going to do. And I thought that was a very heartwarming story. It also gives you an idea of how close that entire family is.
Great story, great family. You know, Jared got the early opportunity to be a part of the Buckeye family. Not only be a part of it, but experience it. You know, we're a large conglomerate of pieces and parts, and when we come together and you get a chance to be embraced by that, it makes it awful hard to walk away from it. Him being here from Columbus, it's just that much more difficult to leave it here, especially the success that his brother had at this university, and the people here waiting to say, listen, come here with us.
All right, take a look at this. Boys winners from today. Congratulations. Oak Hill got us started with a 2-overtime win. And then Central Catholic, congratulations to the Ironmen. St. Vincent St. Mary started the night session off with a win. And then you saw Northland pulling out the win over Princeton. Let's send it over to the other part of that dynamic duo standing by with Andre Knott, J.D. Witherspoon.
JD, take us through that first half where you come out emotionally charged for this game and you get an early foul trouble. You had to really sit the whole first half.
You know, I had to clap my teammates on, you know, make them play with more intensity, you know. But I knew second half, I just had to bring it all out. It's all or nothing.
How much did it help you that when you did get your third foul in the third quarter, Coach Sullinger kept you in and trusted that you wouldn't get a fourth?
You know, he told me big-time players make big plays, and so I just had to step it up and just play my game.
Work on all those dunks in the offseason, or where you come up with all this stuff?
You know, it's just not, you know, my dad just blessed me with the genes, and my mom did too, so it's just a blessing.
How fun is it to play with somebody like Jared on the other side of you, and how much has that helped your game grow?
You know, we've been playing with each other since like the 4th or 5th grade, so the chemistry, we're like brothers all in this.
Hey, great job tonight. Enjoy this win and enjoy having that around your neck.
Thank you.
The big key is, what do you name those dunks? That's really the big key. Andre talking about all the different dunks. Where does he come up with that stuff? Boy, I just like the opportunity to know what it feels like to get up there.
Yeah,
those days are long past.
Even the freak dunks, I'm like, whoa, kid, where are you pulling this from?
It's like somebody stole his last sandwich or something like that. It was unbelievable. He came up with an array of dunks, and he led the way as both Jared Sullinger and J.D. Witherspoon come up big and get their first state championship for Columbus Northland Vikings, who end the season 27-1, number 1 ranked team in the state in a state championship. Princeton falls to 25-2 with the loss. Well, the director of our second session here tonight was the pilot himself, Steve Warren. Our producer was Joseph Rainiak. Our stat man extraordinaire, Tommy Boshemek, for the entire day, as well as our great sideline guy for all 4 games, so won't sleep well tonight, Andre Knott. For my partner here, my running mate, it has been a great year of high school basketball with you on Sports Time Ohio, Brad Sellers. And I am looking forward to next season.
Thank you, Mike, for bringing me along. Let me ride the coattails. I'm looking forward to next season as well, partner.
Take a look at all the champions. It all started with a double overtime win in the morning session and carried right over to the first ever state championship for the Northland Vikings. For our entire Sports Time Ohio crew from Columbus, I'm Mike Ahrens. Your final score, the Vikings of Northland over Princeton, 60-58. And now we'll send it up to the Farmers Insurance Studio Show with Sue Ann Roback. I'm Mike Ahrens saying goodnight from Columbus.